Is Wasteland 3 worth your time and money? Short answer, yes and no. I know. It's not fun to hear this kind of answer, but stick around and I'll explain why it's an amazing and unique RPG but suffers from poor execution. And in this video I'm gonna break it down and review it. What's up boys and girls, it's your boy Sev, and quick disclaimer, I have not finished the game yet. I'm only at about halfway through the game with 20 hours or so of playtime, which is not enough to complete every side quest there is, but just enough for a complete and honest review in my opinion. I'll start off by the very first thing, character build. Compared to quote-unquote regular RPGs, the level of customization here is insane. To get an idea about it, every character has a combination of one of 16 passive backgrounds, like say 5% bonus experience, a choice of 36 different skills, 7 basic attributes, 17 quirks and at least 2 to 3 perks per skill, which equates to over 80 perks. So the number of combinations you can create are as close to infinite as an RPG can be. All this means unless you straight up copy a build, everyone is gonna think of something unique. There are not just combat skills, there are also utility skills used to interact with the world, and I feel that lockpicking and kiss-ass, for example, are the most useful ones. I must have opened like hundreds of saves and got through hundreds of locked doors, so the balance is a little off. Besides the obvious, builds in Wasteland 3 have different scaling, meaning some builds are actually weaker early on, but get insane later in the game. Like the crit sniper, which starts to basically one-shot everything that moves once you pump enough crit chance into it. And that specifically is something that feels overpowered and sometimes broken, which is why I'm giving builds a 9 out of 10. As for combat, contrary to other turn-based tactical RPGs, everyone in the team has their turn at the same time. Then it's the enemy's turn. I'm gonna keep it short for the combat and just say that it is on point. Every movement and action requires action points, and the game offers you different options to make the most out of your points, consumables, and perks. It also surprised me that I quickly picked up on the fight mechanics, even though I've never played any Wasteland games, so points for newbie friendliness. The most fun I've had in Wasteland 3 is when I'm either fighting a pack of mobs or engaging in a dialogue. Combat does not disappoint, and I give it a 10 on 10 for its genre. Speaking of dialogue, it's the most insane dialogue I've heard in a video game. It's offensive, hilarious, filthy, comedic, and makes no sense at the same time. I can't fully describe it, you really have to experience it for yourself. If you are sensitive, then this game is definitely not for you. You will get insulted with a distinct Colorado accent, or listen to a Mexican guy do, things with a pig over the radio. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. No one is holding back, and why should they? This is a post-apocalyptic world we're talking about here. I mean, people are already over the top and weird now, so that just gets multiplied by 100 when you drop a nuke on them. The dialogue in Wasteland 3 is brutally honest, and I give it a 10 on 10 as well. There are a couple of things I need to talk about before I give my final score. First of them is the story and characters. As the Arizona Rangers, you are offered help by the Colorado Patriarch, aka the boss of post-nuclear war Colorado. On the way, you get ambushed by a gang called the Dorseys, leaving you with only a handful of soldiers. So, you start running errands for the Patriarch and all kinds of different factions. And from there, the story of the Rangers actually picks up. At every point in the game, you will have to make choices, all of which will have an impact on your reputation and how your story progresses. Contrary to a game like Divinity Original Sin 2, where every character's story is unique and overlaps with yours, here it's on a much bigger scale, and it is too political. You don't just follow the story of, say, Seth, but instead you embody the Ranger Order as a whole and how it interacts with different factions. As for the characters though, with insane dialogue, of course, comes insane characters. But not just that. As you progress through the game, you will understand that some characters are very calculating and borderline genius. And yeah, one of the main characters has a freaking hammer with fists on it as weapons. And there's a prisoner that survived by eating mushrooms he grew in his own crap. Okay, I stand corrected. Most characters are over the top here. As a whole, for the characters in Wasteland, and since the story is complex but sometimes predictable, I'm giving them both a 9 out of 10. If you stuck around so far, you might be asking yourself, hey, if it has such high marks, what's wrong with it? The bane of every game nowadays is exactly what's wrong with it. Bugs. Glitches literally killed my immersion in Wasteland 3. Sometimes I would be in the middle of a fight calculating stuff and boom, I can't click on anything. Or there's one time where I couldn't do anything in a fight and then a quick freeze, then suddenly my character has 37 action points. Just listen to my reaction of it. What's this guy's problem? What happened? What? What happened? Is this a bug? What the hell happened? I just got 37 attack. Sorry, I got 37 action points. I just clicked on him. What is this bug? There are more visual glitches here than there are women in a sultan's harem. I'm not kidding, it's very disappointing and just pisses me off. It's like creating the perfectly delicious cake then doing this to it. And to this day I've yet to see a patch addressing these issues. I've seen a patch that corrected the co-op issues, but there are still a ton of bugs that needs addressing. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like Studio Enzile is taking the piss when it comes to delivering a stable game. Most of this stuff is super basic and it seriously tanks my enjoyment of the game. Overall, bug correcting and stabilization gets a 3 on 10 and I'm being very generous here. Okay, let's recap everything. Character builds are great, combat is on point and characters are super enjoyable. But bugs do kill the fun for me and I've had plenty of them. So overall, Wasteland 3 gets an 8 out of 10 that had the potential to be much more. So is it worth your time and money? Yes, it is worth your time. But if I were you, I'd wait either for a sale or when they finally address the issues in it by patches or whatever. So there you have it folks, I hope you enjoyed my review of Wasteland 3. Good news, I have started streaming on Twitch, I do variety streams and also stream new games when they come out. Check out the link in the description for the channel, and if you like this video and want to see more of it, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching and until next time folks, peace!